Welcome, homies. I'm Maester Sketches, and today we're going to talk about Windjammers. It's a game that came out in 1994 on the Neo Geo by Data East. It was later ported by Dotemu in 2017 to the PS4, and then to the Nintendo Switch later in 2018. Alright, so let's go over Windjammers mechanics. You have your basic movement. You can move in 8 directions, and as long as you choose which direction you go, that's where you're going to move. Then you have dash. Dash, it works almost the same way. You have 8 directions that you can dash. You just have to be pressing A if you're using Xbox, X if you're using PlayStation, or 3 depending on if you know your inputs. You have throw. Alright, so you can throw in 8 directions. This is going to be the main focal point of the game. You're going to use either A on the Xbox, X on the PlayStation, or 3 to throw in either of the 8 directions. Now you have your lob, so when the disc gets thrown and you catch it, right, you can throw it regularly by pressing A or X, but you can also lob it back, right, by pressing B if you're using Xbox, circle if you're on the PlayStation, or 4, depending on your input. Now, if you hold on to the disc, right, the longer you hold on to the disc, the slower your reprise of the disc is going to be, right? So with the lob mechanic, the longer you hold on to the disc and then you press B to lob, the closer it's going to be to the net. Drop shot is a new mechanic to Windjammers 2. Now with drop shot, when the disc is about to make impact with you, you can press B if you're on the Xbox, circle on the PlayStation, or 4, and you can end up returning the disc back over the net by slapping it. Alright? And it puts it immediately closest to the net on the opponent's side. Another new mechanic they introduced is jumping. Alright? So when the disc gets thrown over to your side, but it's lobbed, or if you happen to make it get tossed up in the air, you can use jump to catch it. Alright, you're gonna end up pressing Y if you're on the Xbox, triangle if you're on the PlayStation, or 2 if you're using regular inputs. So one of the good things about catching it is that when you catch it, you can spike it to the opponent, right? But you can choose which direction. You have your left, your right, you even have the back and front of the net. Toss. An oldie but a goodie, alright? This reminds me of drop shot right now, or drop shot reminds me of toss. Drop shot's the new mechanic that when the disc comes to you, you can press B to slap it right back closest to the net, right? Well, with A, with the same kind of situation when the disc is coming towards you, you can toss it up into the air, giving you some options, right? So you can toss it up into the air, stand underneath the crosshair, charge for your super. You can toss it up into the air, stand behind the crosshair, charge one of the new mechanics, slap shot, and slap the disc. Or you can toss and it's up in the air, and then you jump and catch it, spiking it over to the net. So you have like different kind of mix-up opportunities. Super customs. When you stay under the disc where the crosshair is showing, you can charge and then return with a super custom. Each character has a unique super custom, so make sure you learn which character does what with their super custom. Then you have a super custom that's the same across the board for all the characters. That's when you do the super custom in a specific direction, like left or right. Alright? One of the new mechanics they introduced is power disc. When you've fully charged your bar, you'll see that it says power disc. That's when you're holding the disc, have a fully charged bar, and then when you release, you can do a power custom. Power custom can be done by either hitting the right bumper or hitting the A and B button together, or X and circle if you're on the PlayStation, or 3 and 4. Power toss. This is your defensive bar. Alright, so when you fully charge your bar, you can use it offensively or you can use it defensively. So when the disc is coming to you, and let's say, well, you can't catch the disc or react to it because of how fast it came, or if it was a super or not, you can do it either way. You can use your defensive bar by using either right bumper, A and B on the Xbox, X circle on the PlayStation, or 3 and 4, and you'll waste your bar, but you'll do this AoE, this area of effect, where you end up stopping the disc from where it's at, as long as you're in the radius of it, and then you'll toss it in the air, giving you an opportunity to react and do something. It's a very cool new mechanic to introduce. You can even use it, right, to pick up a disc that's been thrown on the ground. Alright? But you have to be quick enough. We'll be experimenting with how long that actually takes. But when it's on the ground, you can pick it back up, giving yourself a second opportunity. Slap shot, it's another new mechanic, right? So when you press and hold the X button on the Xbox, or the square button on the PlayStation, or the one input, right? You can charge and hold, and then when you press it again, slap the disc. Now this mechanic here is a little harder to use because you gotta read where the opponent's gonna throw the disc and then slap it back. But you can also use it when you're up close in the net for some shenanigans, slapping the disc back and forth. So that covers the basic movements. Now we're gonna go into specific scenarios. So let's talk about slap shot. It's a new mechanic in Windjammers, right? It allows you to charge your slap shot, and then when the disc is coming, you can let go by hitting the same input and slap it back towards the opponent, alright? So the way I see that it may be really good to use is in a volley situation where you guys are going back and forth and you want to change the opponent's momentum, right? So you can charge the slap shot, then let it go, and you can change the speed of the disc and the direction of the disc, kind of giving you an option to select, right? So you have 5 directions that you can slap shot. It's up, it's down, it's towards, and also in between up and down, right? And you can also charge your slap shot and then in a direction flick the stick up or down or even towards, and you can move your slap shot. Alright, so you can kind of give your slap shot some momentum as you lead into the opponent's disc and then slap it. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys some clips. Some are good, some are bad. This is day 1 clips. Alright, so let's talk about drop shot. It's a new mechanic in Windjammers. You can treat it just like the toss mechanic. When a disc is about to make impact with you, you press the drop shot button and you can counter slap it across and over the net, real close to the net, forcing the opponent to come out from the back and up to the net to counter. When you drop shot, the disc lands on the ground and it gives the opponent an opportunity to grab and return the disc. They can do that either by approaching it, dashing towards it, or using their defense meter, procking it up into the air, right? And then giving them a second chance. The way I've been using drop shot day 1 is just the same way I've been using the slap shot. Use it as a way to break momentum. When there is an intense volley between you and the opponent, you can mix drop shot and your slap shots to break the momentum. And remember, when you're doing your drop shots, you can also treat it just like the toss and do a micro dash into the new drop shot mechanic. Micro dash might seem complicated for someone who's new, but it's real easy. All you have to do is press the toss button in a direction that you want to mini dash to or micro dash to. So treat the drop shot the same way, right? So you can press X in a direction, micro dash, and then end it with the drop shot. Or you could just do a drop shot and flick it in a direction, and you'll also dash with your drop shot. There are a combination of two different ways. The one with the micro or mini dash is a little bit longer, while the regular way of just flicking and drop shotting is a little shorter. I'm going to show you guys a couple examples. Here's some clips from day one. So let's talk about jump. Jump is a new mechanic in Windjammers. Now you can jump, catch the disc in the air, and spike it to the opponent's side. And you can pick different directions where you can spike it. I find myself now using jump whenever you see someone jumping in the air themselves. To spike it, you can jump at the right time and catch it and reverse it. Or when you see someone lobbing the disc over, you can jump, catch it, and reverse it with a spike. You can even toss when someone is throwing a disc at you, toss it up into the air, and when it's up in the air, grab it with jump and spike it across. So it's been a really fun and new mechanic. I'm going to show you guys a couple of clips of day one of me and my jump experience. Super Customs were there in Windjammers 1. All you gotta do is stand underneath the crosshair as the disc is tossed up in the air. You can charge and then throw your Super Custom. Also, when someone does a Super Custom towards you, if you catch the Super Custom in the right input, frame 1 usually, you can toss the Super Custom right back. And you can pick different variations of the Super Custom. You can toss back neutral Super Custom, or one in a different direction, like left, right, or towards. So let's talk about power disc and power toss. There are two new mechanics to Windjammers, right? So when you've got your bar completely filled, now you have the opportunity to use your power disc offensively when you have the disc and shoot a Super Custom that's faster than usual, or on the defensive end, when the disc is coming towards you, you can use power toss. What's cool about Power Toss is that it's an AoE, right? So as long as the disc is in the radius, it gets tossed up and interrupted into the air, giving you a second chance to do something, right? Another thing you can do with Power Toss is that when the disc lands on the ground, you can use Power Toss as a defensive measure to pick it back up from the ground as long as you're in the radius, giving you a second chance to use it. So I'm going to show you guys a couple clips, day one clips, of me using Power Toss and Power Disc. Also, Super Customs will be shown. Thank you guys for watching this. I'm Maester Sketches. You can catch me on twitch.tv with the rest of the Windjammers Wednesday crew. We get together on our Discord every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, and we play some Windjammers. So if you ever want to get together, you can drop by on Twitch and I'll send you the link in the chat. And we just talk pop culture, talk tech for Windjammers, and we also discuss the future for Windjammers tournaments, which we also do online and offline. So if you guys want to join up with us, you can reach out to me on twitch.tv, Maester Sketches, and I'll help you out with the Discord link. Till next time, peace, homies.